Hey, what if he's okay?
What do you mean?
I mean, not dead.
It's been 7 months. If he's out there, it's not our problem anymore.
Beyond the Gates centers around two estranged brothers who return to their missing father's video store, you know, while it's basically on its last legs. He's been missing for about 7 months, and while they're there, they end up finding a VCR board game that may or may not lead to another dimension.
But it's a creepy kind of game, isn't it? Because it seems to be reacting to them live. It's like the game is alive. There's something weird going on there.
Indeed.
So talk to people that might not know what a VCR board game is.
I've had to explain this to several investors, but basically it was a short-lived fad in the late 80s and early 90s where you would basically have, you know, a board game that had a video component. So you'd pop it in, and essentially what you'd do is you'd have a host guiding you through the various facets of the game while you tried to keep up, and a lot of them were quite confusing. But yeah, it's basically, it was a short-lived fad that I thought was pretty interesting and a really nice engine for this type of movie.
We found this like weird, probably banned VCR game. It's like a board game, you know, but you gotta watch it.
Obtaining the 4 keys allows passage beyond the gates. Only there can your father's soul be saved.
This sort of throwback to 80s horror, why do you think it's enjoying a bit of a resurgence, maybe?
You know, I feel like there's a few reasons for it. You know, all of this stuff sort of moves in cycles. There was the torture porn thing for a while, and then we moved into this sort of found footage, you know, paranormal activity thing. And I feel like people are kind of longing for the more cinematic, practical effects business of the 80s.
Talking about FrightFest as well, how do you said it was your first time at FrightFest. How does it feel to be here? What do you make of the crowd so far?
It's a total blast. I mean, everyone I've met has just been totally cool, and there's also just no ego or pretension around here. It's just you can talk to any director, any actor, you know, any fan. Everyone's just on the same level, and it's a really nice experience.
We think our father bought this from your store. What if we just stopped?
I'm not gonna stop until we find Dad.
And I suggest you play the game.